Hey guys, and welcome back to River Raven Collects. Today we're looking at Hatchett. He is from the Curse of Spawn series, Series 13, released in 1999, making him 23 years old. This is obviously the same series that we looked at last time. So, Hatchett has a very interesting backstory, which we'll get into a bit later. But as you can see, he is just littered with items to hold and trinkets, which is really cool. And he looks like he's got a lot more articulation than we've seen in a lot of other Spawn figures. So that's going to be interesting to test out. But anyway, guys, let's get him open and check him out.
Alright guys, so here we've got Hatchett, and this is a very pristine box. It's almost a shame that I'm opening it up because it's so crisp, but if I kept him in his box I don't think it would make a very good video. So some of the features: bendable vertebrae and dripping entrails, so definitely much better than Rainus last time. And of course we've got the back with all the advertising. I really want to get Jessica Priest and Mr. Obersmith. The rest of them I think I've got besides Zeus, and this guy here I need to pick up as well. Desolator is on his way, or Desiccator, I can't remember which it is. And some other things here: we've got weapon in his left hand and entrails in his right, skin pegs to belt, and shovel pegs to left hand, vertebrae can bend and wrap, so that's cool. And we've got his little info card. Ryan Hatchett, one day an ordinary high school student, next day dead. The day after that he's back, undead, and finds himself in a very strange place fighting off zombie spawn and his legions of undead. Homework has never been this hard. So I don't know what the context is behind it because I haven't read the comic, but that sounds really interesting. I want to know more about this guy. But anyway, let's get him out of his box and check him out. Alright, so I'm going to say it as I usually say it: no clamshell this week, so I am over the moon. But, you know, these boxes, I don't know, I like the new cardboard ones because you can just slide them out so much easier, and it preserves the box. But we do have Hatchet out, probably in record time. And yeah, there he is, and now we've got all his bits. So these are the entrails, I guess, and that tape does not want to come off. So here they are, they're all made out of rubber. And then we've got the masks here. So they are super detailed. Like, I know we say this every time, and I get it in the comments like, oh, it's so detailed. But like, seriously, I don't know what other toy companies were doing at the time. Like, what, 22 years ago? But McFarlane was just knocking it out of the park. Like, these are better than the ones we get today. But yeah, there's the back of them and the front, and yeah, they're just super cool. And now we've got the bendable vertebrae. Who would have thought that would be a toy for kids, eh? Now we've got these little organ things. Not quite sure what they're meant to be. I think one's a heart and the other's lungs or like kidneys or something. But yeah, they look alright. Nothing too special, but for their size, you know, super detailed as usual. And then we've got the two weapons, or I suppose one's a weapon and one's a shovel. So the shovel looks absolutely amazing. So much detail as usual. And then we've got this glaive thing. Definitely not a hatchet. They could have put a hatchet in here. Anyway, let's have a look at his bendability. Nothing in the head. We've got a bit of articulation in the shoulder, and then just on the wrist as well. We've got this little bit of an arm thing that sits on his shoulder. That doesn't come off, unfortunately. This is made out of rubber, a little bit more flexible on that side. Then we've got the same articulation, but the tricep here actually wiggles, so got a little bit there. None of it feels super stiff or anything, it's actually pretty good. We've got none in the waist, and then we've just got the legs and then the ball joint knees. So that's pretty much it. I thought there was going to be a bit more articulation, But yeah, not too bad overall. And what I do like about him is he's very stable. He will pretty much stand up how you want him. And now we're on to putting him together. So this is the part that kind of sucks because there's no instructions, and I really wish there was instructions. Like, it'd be such an easy thing to do, but yeah, it's just a guessing game, and I guessed wrong multiple times on this belt thing. Like, I know the masks are supposed to go on here, but man, they did not want to go on. So there we go. I worked out one of the three. These last two, though, took me like quite a while, and I'm still not sure if they're around the right way or not. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. But I eventually got them in, so that's them in. It still doesn't look right to me. I think the two on the outside are supposed to be switched around, but they're in there and they're stable, so I'm not going to mess around with them anymore. So this was quite a peculiar thing. The shovel just would not go into his hand, and I assume it's got to slide in like this. Like, how else is it going to get on there? It definitely doesn't go in his other hand because his other hand can't hold it. It's way too open. So, yeah, this is kind of annoying, but I worked out that the shovel's actually got like this little bit on it, a little peg. So it goes onto the back of his shoulder like this, but yeah, I still don't know if he can hold it or not. I don't think he can actually hold it, so I guess it's just staying there. Whoops. Yeah, it's just staying there, and I guess he's gonna hold his sword thing, which is fine. I prefer the sword, but I'm pretty sure on the box it said that the sword goes on his back and the shovel in his hand, but yeah, whatever. It's fine, I guess, but this is why I'd really like instructions with these. Like, I just feel like it wouldn't be that hard to include a bit of paper. But anyway, I usually, work them out. I'm sure there's other videos you can watch of people putting them together, and it's not too big a deal, I guess. I just like things being precise and in like the way that they're supposed to. So I got no idea where these go either, but I eventually worked it out. It's kind of like I'm just playing a guessing game as I go along, but if you guys pick up these figures, I would love to know if this video has helped you, so leave me a comment down below. But the entrails slide into his hands like that, and it looks really cool. Like, I'm really impressed just how they can have something that's rubber like this and then have it like so precisely slide into his hand. And then I worked out that this is where these little organs go, so you can just put this in wherever, and because they're both rubber, they pretty much will stay in there. I think if you shook them around too much, they'd probably slide out. And this one's got a little spot where you slide his little loop onto. So that's pretty cool, because I don't like having toys or figures with loose parts. I would much rather have everything all together on one figure. But anyway, guys, I'll leave you with the showcase and some beats, and I'll be back with my final thoughts very soon.
Alright guys, so that has been our look at Hatchett from 1999. I know I say this nearly every week, but this is another fantastic figure. McFarlane's just, knocked it out of the park again. And I mean, it's really no surprise at this point, but this figure does stand out from the others, and that's because I believe it's a perfect blend between toy and statue. I feel like we've seen a lot of Spawn figures that are more of a statue and you can't really play with them. But this, I feel like, you could definitely play with this. This probably would have been one of my favorites as a kid if I had gotten it back then. But yeah, it's a really good blend between the both, and it's a good middle ground compared to the other ones that are just statues. So I think that's really awesome that with this series that McFarlane has gone that way. I'm not sure if it was well received or not, or if people liked it or they wanted more of the statues, I don't really know, but I feel like it's a perfect blend between the both. And this is just another absolutely amazing figure. And I'd like to see McFarlane kind of go back to something like this where it's a good mix of both between, because the new ones that we're seeing are more toys than statues, and they've got way more articulation than this, but nowhere near as much detail. So I'd really like to see McFarlane kind of do something like this again, because this is just incredible, and there's no skimp on the detail. It's absolutely covered, and there's a ton of like blood splatter, and as somebody who's actually painted blood splatter, like it can easily go wrong, but there's not too much, not too little, like it's absolutely perfect. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll be down there as well. So leave this video a like, that would really help me out, and if this is your first time here, then consider hitting the subscribe button, and I've got I think 20 plus videos now that you can check out. Another amazing figure, and we're going to be looking at plenty more, so I'll see you guys on the next one.